Hi everybody, it's Cory with Utah Dream Properties and Keller Williams. Today we're going to talk to you about how to start buying rental properties on little to no money.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
All right, just to give you a little background of where we started at, because if we can do it, anybody can do it. That's why we want to get this information out to you. I know a lot of people feel like, well, that's for other people, or I can't ever do that. Well, I can tell you right now that I was active duty military. I was living first and the 15th type paycheck, and we all know Uncle Sam doesn't pay the greatest. So we were living that life for 20 plus years while I was doing that. Then we retired and we got into real estate. And so we want to give you this wonderful gift of real estate that we kind of figured out over the last 12 years. And now we own properties on the long-term rental side and on the short-term side. So like I said, if we can do it, we know you can. We just want to get this word out to you. So let me give you a few tips here. We have 3 tips that we kind of picked out on how to buy a home, or basically house hacking a way into a rental property. So it depends on where you're at in life, and we understand that. So let's just start out. Hey, maybe you just got married, you're younger, and you've got you just don't have any money in your pocket. That's okay. There's different ways to do this, right? If you have a good job and you're living 9 to 5 kind of thing, but you qualify to buy a home, that's great. So let's get you to buy your first home. You can buy that with FHA loan. You can put less down that way. There's less down payments. There's all kinds of things that are really handy about that. Or if you're a military veteran, use your VA loan, right? And you can get into a home without putting anything down. So there's ways to figure that out, and we can help you with that as far as credit and all those different things. But once you're into your first home, legally, you have to live there for 12 payments, right? So about a year, maybe a little bit more. And then you can start looking for another one, right? So what you do is you kind of hop from home to home for a little while. You have little kids, or you maybe don't have any kids, it's just you and your spouse or something like that. It's no big deal really to move, and you don't have to move far. You can stay in the same neighborhood even. You could pick a neighborhood and say, hey, we're going to buy several homes in this neighborhood, or the same city, whatever you want to do. But basically you buy your first one, you're in that thing for about 12 payments, and then you identify another one that you want to get. And the whole point of that is you move from the first home to the second home, and you put renters into the first home. So now you've got your first home in your portfolio, and your second home in your portfolio is the one you're living in now as your primary residence. And once again, you can buy that FHA because you've lived in the first one legally long enough, and it opens up FHA options for you to do it again. So that's just one way to do that, and we know people that have done that, and they've done that for many years. They've built up their portfolio to maybe all 10 of the single-family homes that they could get before you have to start looking into different financing, because you can get up to 10 home loans. But then after you get to number 10, and don't worry, there's ways to do it. There's people that own hundreds of homes, but you get 10 pretty easily, and then you got to go into some commercial loans and some stuff like that. We can talk about that too when you get to that point. But for just starting out, that's one really good way to do that. And there's another way. So our daughter did this way actually. Bree, who's behind the camera, she's doing this and she's putting these videos out for us. Basically, we helped her get into her first home, and she takes care of it. She makes payments on it. She does all of that. And the way that she did that is by house hacking that house, meaning she has roommates and she rents out a couple of rooms in the home. She gets to charge them a certain amount of rent. So she then makes enough to make her payment, and maybe even a little bit more to make the payment or pay the principal down even a little bit faster. So that's just another way to do it. Qualify for, get into a home, and then have other people in the home with you. And while you're young, it's usually easier just because, a lot of times you're single, or maybe it's just you and your spouse. You could rent a basement out, something like that. Obviously, you kind of share kitchens, so you want to pick the people carefully that you go with, right? That's a little thing that, you want to work on. But it's another way to get into a home for little to no money. You just got to qualify for that first house, and then you get some people in there to help you pay for it. And then there's another thing. So we're big fans of a podcast called Bigger Pockets. David on there, he wrote a book, it's called The BRRRR Strategy. So it's B and then 4 R's. And they stand for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. So let's explain that a little bit deeper. So you go buy a home, and of course, you might use the first two tips that we have here for a few years to save up a little bit of money for this part. But you can buy a home, right? Then you can rehab it. So you go look for, the oldest home on the block, if you will. We've done this ourselves, where we go look for the one that has the weeds in the front yard as tall as me. You got to kind of fight your way to the front door. You get a hold of those people and they're like, yeah, we do want to sell. We need to get out of here. That's fantastic. You buy that property at a good price, then you rehab it, right? Then once it's done rehabbing, then you can rent it to somebody. You put a renter in there, then you refinance it, right? So you're taking the money out of it that you just put into it for the rehab. Hopefully that makes sense. And don't worry, we can explain that deeper if you have questions. Then you repeat. So you take the money that you just took out of that and maybe even a little bit more, you put it back into your account for your rehab account, and then you go buy another house and you do it again. And as you do that, obviously now you have another home that's added to your portfolio and you rehabbed it. So all right, that home is solid for 10 or 15 years before it's really going to need anything major done to the home, other than simple things like a water heater or a dishwasher or something like that. But everything else you've rehabbed. So you can keep building up your portfolio that way. And I would recommend listening to Bigger Pockets too. Those guys are awesome. And you can listen to some of the stuff they've done on there. They've built it up to hundreds of homes in their portfolios by doing that method. So those are just 3 different ways that we wanted to let you guys know about. We have used those methods in different ways also. So if we can do it, anyone can do it. If you have questions, please contact us. Okay, everybody, so that was how to start buying rental properties when you have little to no money. Hopefully that helps you out. Please contact us with questions. All of our contact information is down below. Bree puts these out every week, so like and subscribe. We're here. You can contact us any way you want to. Like I said, all of our info is on there. What we're going to do next is we're going to do a seller financing video, and we'll get that out to you guys as soon as possible. Have a great day.